why is it that sometimes males, despite loving the other spouse, still stem to want affection elsewhere? You know, you guys still want that attention, that affection from other women. And it's like, well, what are you looking for? But yeah, I would love that. I actually, I have a really good insight into this, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Alfred, what do you think, Alfred?
Okay, so literally, I had a phone call that came through, and I heard like this much of the question. I'm sorry. Can you restate it one more time? Because I feel like I got an answer for you.
Yeah. So if you're in a loving relationship, right? You love this person. What would be the reason that you would still seek attention and affection elsewhere? So you may not be looking for like anything permanent or physical, but emotionally, you're looking for that validation, right? That I guess, you know what, like people, like spouses going on dating sites and chatting up other women, or just even guys in relationships and on IG. I get a lot of this actually, where guys are in relationships and they're still hitting me up. Why is it? You know, you can be in a loving relationship, you love your woman, your kids, or whatever, but you're still seeking the attention and affection of other people. So I'd love to hear your guys' perspectives on this. I have a really beautiful perspective of my own, but yeah, I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say.
I mean, if you got to go searching for it somewhere else, you weren't getting it in the first place, you know? So I think if you were literally like, if you're seeking attention from other people, like if somebody's laughing at your jokes and you notice that they're laughing at your jokes a lot, so you start joking more with them and then you just end up talking chit chat, it's because your main person wasn't laughing at your jokes. Your main person wasn't, you know what I mean? Like showing you that attention in that certain aspect of your relationship. Like he could be showing you out and like, you know, posting you on social media and like claiming you in front of other people, and like that makes you feel safe. But if you're just, there's like one little thing, you know what I mean? If that one little thing, if this guy over here is just laughing at your jokes and it makes you feel good, you're gonna keep going towards that. You know what I mean? Because every relationship isn't perfect, you know? And so I think it's just that little thing, you know what I mean? And so maybe some guys, I don't know, maybe some guys are just, they just are, I don't know how to explain it. They're just more open to like doing that, you know what I mean? And I was in kind of in a situation like this too. Like I was in a relationship, and me and my boyfriend at the time, we were kind of rocky a little bit. I wasn't really meeting his emotional needs, and so we had a mutual friend who was straight.
Oh wait, you're doing a flashback story?
Yeah, you know, we're just like a relating story. You know what I mean? Don't play that word. Right. It wasn't like that.
All right, go ahead.
It was so like we were kind of rocky. We weren't really, you know what I mean? Like we were still like working things out or whatever. We had a mutual friend that he confided in emotionally, and he would spew out emotionally to this guy. And even though this guy was quote unquote straight, it kind of made me feel some type of way. I mean, like I'm supposed to, like we're dating, me and you are in this relationship. Why are you spewing out your emotional needs to this person over here? Because at the time, I'm not really in tune with my emotions. I don't really know how to express them all that well. And then my ex was very in tune with his emotions. You know what I mean? He knew how to, you know, figure out his emotions, but I didn't know how. So I guess I would come off a little cold. And I learned from that situation, but at the time I didn't know. So I felt like he started looking for that elsewhere, even though like we were together. You know what I mean? I don't think he meant to take it as far as he did, but I think once you get an outlet like that, you kind of just pour into it, you know?
All right, for sure. I have my thoughts on this. There's three things I do want to talk about. So, number one, I truly believe in today's dating culture, relationships have become a trend now. There's a lot of people in relationships now that are not supposed to be in relationships. They're just in a relationship because that's what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
So that's today's American culture, where I know people are not, they don't want to be in a relationship, but because they don't want to be seen as single, because they're afraid that people are going to say, so they just get in a relationship just because. But they're not ready for
like another tangible thing to have.
Yeah, so like it's just because they don't want to be seen as single, they don't want to be seen as like being alone. So now relationships are trend. Oh, all my friends are in relationships. All right, let me just jump into a relationship just cause, so that way I'm seen in a relationship. But they're not really ready for relationships, so that's why they still cheat. Another one is like I think what Alfred said is usually when people cheat, especially for men, if we're not getting something from the relationship from that person, then we'll go look for it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's just I think that works for both men and women. That's why I love what you guys said. Communication is key. Make sure you're always communicating to your partner to know what your wants are, what your needs are. So that way, if there is something that you may lack, then they can fulfill it, they can improve in that area. But a lot of people today, their communication skills is whack. Nobody's communicating no more because social media. This is how we communicate through text messages. Nobody doesn't know how to communicate verbally no more and speak how they really feel and having those honest, intimate conversations. And of course, a lot of people I do meet a lot today is they think relationships are supposed to be perfect. So when the first time they hit a rock, when first time they hit some adversity, first time they hit challenges, nobody knows how to deal with that.
Yeah, and they drop it.
And either they drop it or they just go find it from somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, so because people nowadays don't know how to deal with challenges because everybody sees social media. Oh, everybody's relationship's perfect. So as soon as their relationship is not imperfect, people don't know how to respond, but they don't realize that's part of the process. Like you're supposed to go through challenges. That's another one. And another thing, I feel like today people are not growing within the relationship. Just because you're in a relationship, just because she's your girlfriend doesn't mean you stop working on yourself and stop growing. A lot of people I feel like become lazy. Okay, I got her. You know, she's mine now. She's my boyfriend. She's my girlfriend now. I'm good. And you no longer grow together. I do believe that a relationship is like a house. As a house, you have to constantly build and repair. You constantly build and repair. You build the foundation, right? Stability, communication, values, God, all those things that have those core values that you guys value. But once you have those, then you have to build on top of that. But people are no longer building that. When people get lazy, right? Not only mentally, physically, spiritually, but also physically. You know, I do believe that you have to take care of yourself. You know, that you just I can't just go in a relationship and gain 300 pounds. Polys, I'm talking to a lot of polys out there. Right? Like I said, like you have to take care of yourself, make yourself attractive to each other. That's how you build that fire, you know. And if you listen to all of dating coaches, that's one of the biggest things they always say. They always say you have to, if you want to build that fire and make that passion alive, what do you do? In order to keep a fire alive, what do? You have to feed the what?
The flame.
The flame. You can't it's gonna eventually gonna run out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Some of you guys just light the flame and then that's it.
Right. And it's fire, right? Yeah.
That's fire. All right. But just like a fire, you have to constantly feed it. And just a relationship, you constantly have to feed it, constantly build it. If you just let it, if you get lazy, get complacent, it's gonna die out. And then once you die out, then of course you don't feel that spark no more, then you're gonna find it within somebody else. So that's just the thing I notice about for a lot of people. People are lazy, people are not growing in a relationship, people are not ready, people are just following the trends nowadays for a relationship. And totally forgot what I said before. There was something I missed out, but what did I say? Oh, I can't remember. It was it was
your fire.
The fire, growth, make sure you don't get complacent, don't get lazy. And shoot, I totally just forgot what I said. I don't know if you guys remember what I said. It was 3 things I said. I don't know. Do you guys remember the 3 things I said? I said
the fire.
So grow.
Communication.
Communication
and laziness for like trends.
Yeah. Don't make sure that don't follow the trend. I mean, if you're ready, don't go into a relationship if you're not ready. Right? And don't just go into a relationship just because you want to be in a relationship, because everybody else is doing it. Like if you know you're not ready for a relationship, if you know you're still gonna go out there and live your best life and sleep around, then be single. Be single, right? Yeah. And then once ready for commitment, and then go into it. But yeah, that's my piece on it.
I love that. One thing I will say on like in terms of seeking emotional attachment outside of your relationship, sometimes there is a lot of trauma that's happened previously, and it's never, it's sometimes not even about your relationship. Sometimes it's not even about the other person. Sometimes it actually has to do about you.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
It's not even that you don't love this person, because I know a lot of people have these issues where they absolutely love their spouse, but they cannot stop themselves from reaching out for affection to other females or males. And it's like they can't understand like why the fuck they keep doing it. And it's like it's not even about your relationship. It's got nothing to do with the other person. Like, what's happened in your previous life? Like, where have you experienced rejection? And like, is there any fear coming up in terms of like, you know, maybe your relationship might end? Or there's so many things that happened in the mind that we really don't speak about. And we're so busy talking about the action. We're so busy caught up talking about like, you know, like I keep doing this thing, or you keep fucking around, or whatever it is. But like, there's actually so much that's happening, internally that we haven't addressed. So you can stop doing all that shit, but if you don't address like the rejection or the trauma, it's going to continuously repeat because you haven't fixed the actual thing. Jani has a really good insight into this as well. Like, so like one thing that's the only reason I asked is because I think we all have at some point experienced these things. But yes, communication is actually really, really important. If we're not getting the thing from our spouse, have you even fucking communicated it?
Have you asked?
Have you allowed them to meet you there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what a prick. Like, are you really just going to blame them but not give them the opportunity to like meet you where you need them, right? And that's really important. So yes, communication is important, but another thing is like, why are you even fucking doing it? If the communication is there and you're still going to do it, something else needs to change, and it's not the person.
There are a lot of people out there that have issues, like you said. And you definitely got to focus on that. And also, for one thing I do notice for a lot of people, they don't take the time to heal before they go into the next relationship.
That's it.
People be just jumping to the next bandwagon. People would just be jumping relationship and never take the time to heal. So they still carry all the hurt and that energy, the negative energy from all those outer relationships. And they carried that on to the next relationship, put that stress on the other person. That's something. If you have issues and things that you're going on with, you definitely need to take the time to take care of yourself, because it does put a lot of stress on a partner when they know it's nothing, like they have somebody they really, really love, but there's nothing they can do to help you because that's something that's internal. And then if you're not dealing with it, then it's kind of unfair to your partner, because they want to be with you, but you're not putting the time to heal those things or deal with those traumatic experiences, because they can't do that for you. You know, somebody else cannot fix you. You have to fix yourself. So that's one of the things that I do see for a lot of men and women, that we finally meet somebody we love, we care about, but they have some issues, and you really love them, but they don't take the time and they don't work on those issues, and it just puts a lot of stress on the relationship, and sometimes becomes toxic. But yeah, I hope that answered your question, Shinarah. All right, for sure. Jani, go ahead.
I'll say Shinarah. Shinarah said you had like an insight. Was that your insight? Like, I felt like you had like an example.
I told it to me or
Shinarah.
Oh.
Yeah. So my example is.
Oh, hold up. Example. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, that's what's been the separation for me and my husband, is exactly that. It's not the first time either where he's felt the need to seek that affection elsewhere. It's not been physical, but absolutely it could have been physical, right? And it's not the first time either. So because it's not the first time, and you know, we're 9 years in, we've got kids, it's like, okay, cool. So like, first of all, communication wasn't there. And second of all, it's like, okay, cool. Like, we actually ended up, he was able to communicate and be vulnerable. And yeah, we address things that actually had happened in the past. And it's like, okay, cool. So there's some personal growth that really does need to happen. And that's what I mean by expansion and elevation. It doesn't actually need to be financial. I really don't care if he is really happy at his job and I start making hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's not going to elevate my soul. He elevates my soul, but he needs to work on himself to meet me where I deserve, which is that communication, that commitment, and that loyalty, because that's a basic, right? And then like, yeah, but like I'm in terms of like that, I'm super in love with this man enough to meet him when he's ready.
Okay.
So yeah, like I guess when it comes to relationships, you know, a lot of people would have split, but like I'm super old school too. Like I would rather work on it. Also, I'm fucking lazy. Like dating, fuck that. Like I, you know what? I never claimed that.
Hell to the no.
Hell to the no.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't. Do you guys like? If Jani talks on this, like how people just hit us up on like social media, you know, what am I supposed to fucking do with your comments? Like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Yes.
Maybe they're just being nice.
Makes me feel so
maybe they're just being nice. Should I give them the benefit of the doubt? You know, maybe they're just being
nice.
No,
I can't do it. Just like a nice thing would have been like, I really loved what you said, or I really loved this about your post. Fucking
dig deeper, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm so sick of the surface level shit. Like, don't come at me with that. I can't fuck with you.
Dang. Why don't there's a guy that's all like that's the capacity of his mental capability. You know, that's all he had. He gave you all he had. He gave you all he had.
You know, guys are just dogs. You know what I mean? Guys are just
very good.
Dogs,
there are good guys out there. Sometimes we just don't know how to communicate it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm just gonna give that guy a bit of a doubt. All right.
I mean, I feel like the guys that really make an impression are dudes that are like funny, or dudes that are like, you know, they have some substance to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like comment on like what Shinarah was saying, on what you're saying, rather than ooh, like you're so bomb, or like, you know what I mean? And like talk about the physical stuff on it. I have a lot of my female cousins always talk about how these dudes are in their DMs talking about like, you know, how beautiful they are. But I'm like, and they clown on these dudes. All these dudes need to know, if you're gonna spit some game at some girl on social media, come with some heat, not with the ooh, I'm gonna take care of you someday type of bullshit. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like these dudes out here, some of them be lame.
Yeah, this is one thing I would say for all the guys out there. You know, I'm telling you, like, don't get fooled by the beauty. You know, like you can meet a very attractive person physically, but if there's no character in there, they don't have values, I'm telling you, that's only gonna go for so long. So I know a lot of guys out there, they think that, you know, they find that one, you know, trophy wife and everything's gonna be set. But yeah, I mean, after I'm telling you like that out, like beautiful men, I mean, it goes both ways, guys and girls. Like once the physical is nice, but then after it, then what's gonna carry a relationship is gonna be the emotional and the mental, right? So don't put a lot of focus. If you happen to meet somebody that got all three, oh great, hey, oh great. But do focus a lot more with the mental and emotional part of an individual and their character, their values, who they are, what they do.